You probably know Bill Gates as the founder of Microsoft, the hard-driving tech executive whose software fueled the personal computer revolution. You might also know him as the longtime richest man in the world who left Microsoft 5 years ago so he could work full-time giving his money away. We had the chance to witness Bill Gates 2.0, the man you don't know. He is driven as much as anyone we have ever met to make the world a better place. Gates told us why he thinks inventions are the key to success and just what he intends to accomplish with his time, intellect, and $67 billion fortune, starting with his plans to knock out some of the world's deadliest diseases.
The story will continue in a moment.
You're going to spend the next 20 years of your life trying to eradicate disease.
Yes. Yep.
That's your mission.
That'll be the majority of my time.
Starting with polio,
Get it done by 2018.
tuberculosis,
Take probably 6 or 7 years.
malaria.
Malaria is the one that the tools are being invented now, 15 or perhaps even 20 years, but start to really shrink that map.
These are the people Gates wants to help. They are what he calls the bottom 2 billion, a third of the world's population that struggles on less than $2 a day. They are poor, hungry, lack electricity, and clean water. Gates' most urgent goal, help the millions of children under 5 who die every year, 1 every 20 seconds, from preventable diseases. No one alive that I know of has said, my goal is to eradicate a disease, and then another disease, and then another disease. This is somebody that dreams high.
Yeah, because I'm excited about that, and it's doable.
Today, Gates spends most of his time here at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in Seattle. He runs it with his father, Bill Sr., and his wife, Melinda, whom he credits with being a driving force behind the foundation. There are over 1,100 employees to help them decide which programs to fund. But Gates still visits sites around the world to see what's working and what's not.
I welcome Bill Gates to our school. The government of Ghana and all school-age children are grateful for your support.
Very well done. Great to be here.
The grants here go towards school nutrition,
This is spinach.
improving agriculture,
We don't have enough water in the river.
and most important to Gates, life-saving vaccines.
Well, whenever you see a mother bringing a sick child into a facility, it's easy to relate to what if that was my child. You realize how crazy it is that with the world being rich enough to afford all sorts of frivolous things, that those basic things still aren't being provided.
But providing vaccines throughout the developing world is no simple task. So Gates has set up his foundation to run like Microsoft. He insists on strict accounting, and when a problem arises, he pulls in the best people to find solutions. We saw a good example of that when it comes to vaccines. To be effective, they need to be kept cold.
So this is using electricity.
But that's tough in hard-to-reach areas where refrigerators are rare and unreliable. So back in Seattle, Gates turned to scientists at a company called Intellectual Ventures, where he is both an investor and an inventor. They created a super thermos using the same technology that protects spacecraft from extreme heat. Using only a single batch of ice, it can keep vaccines cold for 50 days.
So here is the thermos. That's right. This holds vaccines for over 200 children, and it doesn't require any battery, any energy. Its walls have been designed to be such a good thermos that even in very, very hot days, inside it will stay cold enough to make the vaccines work. And then when you want to take them out, you just go in here, and there's a whole tray of the vaccines. You take them out, it records everything you've done with it, the temperature. So it's a replacement for all those refrigerators that have been so unreliable. I mean, just look at this thing.
Yeah.
When we take it out in the field, people go, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No matter how perfect the vaccine, if you can't get it to the people who need it, it ain't doing anything.
That's right. And now, we need to get it to every child in the world.
Gates is betting technology will solve other age-old problems like sanitation. 2.5 billion people around the world do not have adequate toilets. That means streams and rivers get clogged with debris and human waste, becoming breeding grounds for disease.
The toilet is one of those things that's like a vaccine, where it really would change the situation.
So Gates launched a global competition. Design a toilet that works without plumbing.
We had over 20 entrants. We gave 4 top prizes. Some of them used burning, some of them used a laser approach. There were quite a few novel ideas of how you reinvent the toilet. And so this was one of the prototype designs of what a good-looking new toilet would look like. It actually processes everything down in here and then recycles water. Over the next 4 or 5 years, we think we can have a toilet that's every bit as good as the flush toilet.
You can learn a lot about what motivates Bill Gates by visiting his private office. He showed us why he draws inspiration from the Italian genius Leonardo da Vinci. In 1994, Gates bought da Vinci's 500-year-old notebook.
He had an understanding of science that was more advanced than anybody of the time. The notebook we have here is one where he's thinking about water, and he's looking at how it flows when it hits barriers and goes around, comes back together. He's actually trying to understand turbulence, how